Insider.
Me, what is disturbing with President Museveni and his people? Over if their heads have now become Daro, assuming their heads have become Daro, Uganda is being now run by Museveni and his family.
But it has kept you secure for 19 years. It has kept
imagine,
you safe
shut
here.
up, it is my God. Shut up.
This is Insider.
All right, kale nkwaniriza ku online TV yaffe the SML News Yugi oliotya no munafa tulaba webale emirimu gy'okulaba okutugoberera webale obubaka bwo yonna gy'osinziira mwebale kola ndaba nafa abali ebweru mugobera nnyo bye tukola abali mu ggwanga erya America abali mu Bungereza abali mu United Arab Emirates n'abalala abali mu nsi endala tubeebaza bannayuganda abali eyo abakuba ekyeyo mwebale kola ate mwebale okutugoberera ng'okumanya biki ebifa mu nsi yammwe naffe twagala okumanya ebifa mu nsi gye muli nga bulijjo era tujja kuba n'emboozi n'abantu abakulu betuyigirako ebintu eby'enjawulo n'olwaleero era betugenda okubeera nabo nze Simon Muyanga Lutaaya. Alright, ndine Dr. Miria Matembe omumanyi mu biti bingi mulwanizi w'eddembe ly'abakyala yaliko member wa parliament yaliko minisita w'ebyempisa n'amateeka omutendeke ate omu ku bakyala abali mu bulamu bwa bulijjo abaagala ennyo Katonda abatatya kusituka kuyimba kusituka kuzinamu kasoyogera ku kya Yesu is a woman of all seasons. Gwe nina olwaleero Dr. nsanyusa okulaba.
Nange nsanyuse okujjamu ekunkyalirako wano. Ekirungi mu introduction yo at least gwe nawuliddemu ekya current. Naye bano bagamba yaliko ndinga yafadde. Ne mbagamba lekeraawo kati bagambe nti nze senior citizen and a child of God. Mother, grandmother. Ebyo bye bisingayo okunsanyusa mu bulamu bwange. Kubanga ate lwaki nabyo mbyogerako bano abantu boolaba bengenda kwogera nabo bali mu bintu balowooza materialism zimansioni biki sente biki ebyo byonna obiwulira bwe biri yali ekiseera kituuka n'ogamba yali kati bwebigwawo bw'oba tofunye kati kwoli onaaba oti tokiraba. Naye njagala kwebaza okujja kunkyalirako wano tunyumyemu emboozi ekwata ku ggwanga. Mpulidde ng'ogamba nti waliwo aba Germany waliwo aba British n'olwekyo nja kubagamba mwasuze mutya oba musiibye mutya buli omu abeere mu kiti kye nga bwakifuna. Nsanyusa okulaba nti mugenda kutuwuliriza eyo gye muli.
The public knows you as a tough person. Abaganda bamwita kyakula sajja. A woman who is as tough as a man, you can't, when he's speaking, he's very authoritative like a man.
Ate bw'okireese otyo omprovokinze nnyo kubanga bw'ogamba kyakula sajja kiraga nti abasajja bokka be balina potential, simanyi bo balina maanyi, simanyi bo nze nakula kazi.
Abaganda
nze nakula kikazi omutuufu nga Katonda bwe yali antonze embeere. Ojjukire bino ebya kisajja ebyo Katonda bwe yamala kutonda omusajja n'amutunuulira n'alaba nti neddo neetaaga herepu ali herepulesi. Kaakati nze azze okuyamba oyo ali herepulesi nteekwa kubanga ndina strength eyo kubanga bw'oba onoonya omuntu anaakuyamba onoonya ono atalina maanyi onoonya stronger person. N'olwekyo mwe mutuzanyirako kyakola sajja ki abasajja balina eno energy ya physical yaki nefe tuyina wano eya brain intellect singa mutwala awinga ne tuba beefinga in that line ensi yandibadde bulungi yandibadde bulungi. Era nze oyo ndi oyo kyakula kazi nga Katonda bwe yali andaba mbeere herepa in the intellectual capacity brains intellect vision biki byonna mbirabira omusajja yali tasobola kubiraba muteeke mu mutwe bw'aba akkiriza tuuke tutambule bulungi. Naye kinsanyusa kulaba nti ozze wano nga tukya celebratinga acknowledging for 16 days of activism against gender based violence. Olaba bw'oleese ebyo
And you are one of those who have
That's
been...
why now I'm provoked to say, look here, ebyo byasajja biteeke ku bbali, naffe abakazi naffe tuli bantu ate twakula kuba bantu Katonda atonda kubayamba. Ate omanye ekirungi ekiriwo kyembuulira abakazi. Mwe abakazi abampuliriza ebintu bino oluusi temubimanyi, nze Mukama reveals to me. Ffe abakazi Katonda teyatutondera mubeezi. Mwali mukimanyi? Omubeezi Katonda yamutondera omusajja. Mmwe mutwetaaga tubabeere.
We have helpers and assistants.
Babeezi.
You don't have.
Katonda teyatutondera mubeezi kubanga yali amanyi nti ffe kusooka byatutaddemu byonna bijjude. Bwe tuba twetaaga omubeezi, Katonda yennyini ye mubeezi waffe. Era abakazi bano nze mbagamba bana, muleke bino ebyogamba omusajja tanyambye, omusajja Katonda yamutonda akuyambe. Gwe wakisoma mu Bayibuli kyegamba nti Katonda n'atonda omusajja yamba omukazi.
It is the other way around.
It is the other way around. Ffe tulina okubayamba. Ate bwe tuba tubayamba nga tusitandinga mu Katonda waffe yatutonda ne tubayamba. Savinga Katonda. This whole acre of land is a gift to my husband who was working in Uganda breweries with standing for ethics and integrity. Abarara bonna babba amwenge ne bakola ki, ye n'asigala nga tabikoze ebyo. Naye nze nga nsaba bwe yali aritaringa, Katonda n'atuwa this acre of land with this house as a retirement gift.
That's very good.
Gwe nkugamba Katonda bita bya kuzanya. Kati eno land y'abaana bange nja kugibalekera. This is their inheritance.
It's very expensive.
Era baagala kugigula beetooloola awo bagula abalala ab'essente nnyingi. Bwe batuuka kugeeta mu Matembe
Matembe. But Doctor, many of the people who had left Mr. Museveni long ago over some disagreements have over time reconciled and returned.
Why not?
Why haven't you?
Kubanga mbadde ndowooza oyagala nze njogere ku bali abaritaninze. Kubanga if you don't have the rock on which you stand, if you don't have the security, if you don't have the surety that irrespective of anything, you'll still live according to how you were planned to live. And that rock, that security, is my God. By the way, when people see me talk God, Matembe agenze ku bya Katonda, Matembe nze ngenze ku bya Katonda, bano abakola foundation y'eggwanga lino, at independence, what motto did they give us? For God and my country. That in whatever I'm going to do, I'll do it for God and my country. Do you know, and the national anthem sings, "Oh Uganda,
May
God uphold you. We lay our future
in
the hands of God." Do you know what that means for us who read the word of God? That means that the founders of Uganda as a nation made a covenant with God that whatever they do it for him and for our country, and they have submitted this nation into God's hands. Now the problem that we face, we broke the covenant. When you break your covenant with God, be ready to face the consequences. All these consequences, all these things we are going through is because we broke our covenant with God. For him he stays, for us we broke. And when you break, this is what happens. You may ask me, how have they broken? For God and my country, central to our leaders and even all Ugandans these days, most of them. What drives them into work? What drives them into leadership? My stomach and I. For God and my country has been substituted by for my stomach and my friends and clans and relatives. For my stomach, for myself and my relatives.
But forgiving and
so have you got that one?
I get that.
Have you got that one?
Yes, very well.
So we and the nation, another number 2, the national anthem. We have taken our nation from God. Do you know the level of idolatry in this country? obulogo idolatry by the way idolatry kitegeeza bintu bingi okusamira bano abakulembeze bonna n'abantu bonna abagenda mu basawo mu bafumu eyo ne basamira ekyo kimu kasita omutwe gwawe n'omutima gwo gwonna nabyoyagala byonna biri mu bintu ne ssente. That is also idolatry. You worship. We want mansions. We want material. We want to be rich. We want to. Ebyo byonna good cars biche ebyo byonna. Sikugambye nti togula good car. Naye good car bweba yekuvuga nti nteekwa kukola kyonna kyendaba nfune emotoka yo nteekwa kukola kyonna kyendaba ndale mansioni nteekwa ekyo kitegeeza you are worshiping what?
Material.
Ebintu ebyo. So si Katonda ffe kyetukola ogamba Katonda nandyagadde akamotoka sirina naye nyamba ompe emmotoka
ennungi
ogenda kulaba n'ogifuna naye nga bweba ntono nga kange otuulamu bire bya self-serving kasita ntuulamu ne Katonda.
Ku lw'obulungi bwa Uganda, I can ask this again. Why don't you find a way of working with Mr. Museveni again?
Nga mwagaza ki?
Amagezi g'olina
Katonda bwe yandonda kankubulire ku myaka yange 2 n'agimpa nti nkole nawe nenkola byonna byenkoze and they make me proud for God kubanga bye nakola byonna ndowooza bigivinga glory to God. Ekiseera bwe kyatuuka nangamba genda va wano nengenda sisobola kuddayo kankubuulire fe abasoma bayibuli Katonda bwe yalonda bano baana ba fishermen bano ba Peter bonna n'abalonda ba disciples n'abajjayo eri mu nnyanja bwe yajja n'abagamba n'akola nabo n'agamba nti naye okuva olwaleero temujja kuddayo kufishinga byennyanja mujja kufishinga ki abantu. Kati nange Katonda yanteekayo eri wa Museveni ne tukola bwe twamala nanzijayo n'olwekyo sirina kuddayo eri sisobola abanzijeeyo. Omanyi abantu kye batamanyi Katonda bw'aba akutadde awantu n'okola n'olaba wawedde n'ovaayo kitegeeza anointing ey'okukola eyo eweddewo. Anointing nze Katonda yangamba wait on me yangamba mulindirire era mulindiridde gwe walaba ngenda bweru ogamba lwaki todda ku Museveni nandigenze ne bweru international jobs zonna gye ziri teziriiyo nenze Mukama yangamba wait upon me era I've been waiting upon God. I'm sure yes this is the maze 18 and 19. This is the I'm sure he has something for me. Ngamba he has something for me. Am I not working right now? I don't rest. You see me even I don't rest almost 24 hours. I am working.
I'm just remembering now that
I'm working voluntary for nothing.
In the next myezi emirala 8 tujja kuba tuli mu byakulonda. The political space, electoral space is unmonitored from the time that the SEDU used to lead closed. What happened? We are
SEDU?
Yes.
Anti-SEDU, when agenda kuchiaringa SEDU, they even elected me in absentia. Abantu bonna aba SEDU. Manyi SEDU, I'm a founding member of SEDU. Naye bwe twamala kugifoundinga nzibwe founding organizations nemala nzivaawo nentambula nengenda plant seed. Bw'osoma Bible you dig a wero, plant the seed and move. Kati down the road basedu ne bagamba kati tu erecting Matembe. Najja wano nga banyarectinze in absentia.
Ne bakulonda yes.
Nenzija ne ntandika kukola. Naye bangamba nti that night the next day wagenda abe intelligence ne bababuuza mwe muyinza mutya kuloonya ono omukazi mwali mwagaza ki ono mumuteekawo muti ono omukazi naye ne ntandika nenkola nyera bwe nali maze ndowooza mbadde maze omwaka ndowooza gubadde guwadde kubanga nzikira twakola annual general meeting naye down the second one awo nga twakatandika omanyi kye twakola twagenda ne observe.
Election observation.
Batuma official observation permit.
Accreditation.
Naye kubanga Sedu ye buli wantu wona almost at every polling station waliwo member of Sedu. Bang it is a citizens organization. Citizens for as you hear.
Coalition for democracy.
The citizens babera ofete tuina member ntali wana registering anachi naye ba citizens eye gye bali nga babeera ku polling stations tibalina amabalwa ne babeera ate what does observation mean babeera nga baraba ebigenda mu maaso kati bwe babiraba ne babitusendingira ne tukola report byonna ne tukola report bwe twamala kukola report ne tugironkinga bwe twalonkinga report bwe tuti ate omusajja wa electoral commission oyo justice oyo ye yatuloopayo okw NGO bureau n'atuloopayo we are launching a report and yet they never gave us accreditation to observe elections. Ne batuclosing naye ekikulu kyo nga baclosinga kuba Matembe gyali ate nange nakola oba mumpadde permission naye abantu citizens babiraba ne babituwa naffe ne tuwandiika fwe nze kinvuga kwe kukolera citizens ba Uganda ne bagiclosinga nankani bwe bagiclosinga ngutejja kutandika kukola nengamba why bagimma kugiregistering bwe bagaana nengamba nti why let me resign so that they could do.
But there has been no replacement. So
Nagamba, why should I waste? Why should I spoil for the people because I'm in this position? And that position was not like paying or what. I was chairperson. In fact, I put in a lot to make sure that we start afresh whatever we are doing. I said, why should Sedu close because of Miriam Matembe? So I submitted my resignation to the registered owners, and I don't know what is happening now.
Looking at our political space, the growth of the opposition in this country, because you have lived a life of supporting Museveni and later opposing Museveni. Do you see those opposing Museveni as able to make change in Uganda?
No. Museveni's government right now is a military dictatorship. Military dictatorship.
Really?
What don't you see? Can you go to the extent? Can you imagine like this Besigye issue? You go to Kenya, you grab somebody from Kenya. What do we call it? Abduct. You abduct this man from Kenya, you put him in prison, really for nothing, because we haven't seen any charge. Charge somebody when they said, you look here, that Simanyi Sweden, they said she was doing security things, Simanyi in Sydney, which
was
other
procuring
countries?
Military weapons.
Now, if they say he was procuring them in Sweden, and they knew by the time he went to Kenya to visit, they had already known that he's securing military weapons. Why didn't they arrest him when he was here? I have not known Besigye to run away. He ran away once or reform agenda when they tortured them and that kind of thing, and he went away. But ever since he came back from South Africa and we formed the FDC, he has never run away. He travels internationally. He comes back. Now, why doesn't common sense tell you people? Why didn't they arrest him when he had come before he goes to Kenya to now go and add on that in Kenya he was with Pistros imposed that he was with Pistros? I want to ask you, what is disturbing with President Museveni and his people? Over if their heads have now become Daro, assuming their heads have become Daro, why do they think that everybody's head is Daro? That some of us are not wise and intelligent? Because we know You cannot go and pass at Entebbe airport with a gun and go and enter Kenya with a gun, even entering a hotel with a gun, unless you know you are that type of person. I think there are other regulations which say unless you are like
but
this.
Dr. Matembe, Mr. Museveni consumes more intelligence information than you do.
Let me finish. Consumes. I wish he consumed more intelligence. We would be better off. Because now, why did they allow Besigye to go and travel and go to Kenya, and then you go and you arrest him and you say that he had pistols? Do you think anybody can believe? Do you yourself, who is asking me, believe if you know how the law goes, how people travel? It is automatic that these people who are arresting Besigye are the ones who have the guns, and they say these are the guns which he has. And did they have to wait? You just common sense. It is automatic. And now those things there of Sweden and whatever, if they were following, they would have followed and see the orders he has made and so on. And when he arrives here, they arrest him.
Maybe they have that evidence. They could have that.
Don't take me maybe. The point I wanted to say actually was not that Besigye is in prison, but the point was this. Okay, he was arrested. And now, because he was arrested in Kenya, now people from Kenya and Uganda, and we are East African community, we are supposed to relate, to be together.
Right.
They form a team of lawyers, advocates, to come and defend Besigye. And what happens here? They refuse to give them a license. And you know, you can imagine this lady, by the way, she's my mentee, my disciple. Yes, this lady Karua is really a distinguished woman in Kenya, who was the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, and not just the jokers. Kenya, Minister of Justice and Attorney General is not these fishermen. No, a very intelligent person, and she was there and at the very tough times. And then, of course, when she left, she contested as a vice president. And after, as a president, actually she contested
as president
first time, and then she contested as running mate to Raila Odinga. A person of that nature says, I have come to defend this man because he had come to launch my book. He was my guest. It's unfortunate he was arrested when he's my guest. So I have come into his matter to really also lend a hand, since he was coming to do something for me. And they don't give her license. And she goes to the council, chairperson of the council. The president of the council says, very soon we are working on the license. And when she's going back, basically, of course, he's sent back to prison. And when she's going back, she wants to make a courtesy call on the Chief Justice, and even put the matter there and say, sir, we would like to get this license. And what I had on the radio, my radio in the vehicle, they said that he was denied to go to see the Chief Justice. The security was this woman with a gun. So that when I say military and dictatorship, you see, President Museveni thinks that Uganda is his personal project, his personal object, not project. He's a person like he owns cows. He has owned Uganda as he owns cows.
How would you be protected?
And he has put the military, the money, the corruption, the whatever. Uganda is run by Museveni, by his brother, Salim Sare, by his wife, and his family. Uganda is being now run by Museveni and his family.
But it has kept you secure for 19 years. It has kept
imagine,
you safe
shut
here.
up. It is my God. Shut up. You tell me that Museveni has secured me?
For 19 years.
Museveni?
Out of government.
Who is he?
You're here safe.
Who is he? Did you create me? Does he know when I will live and how I will live? Come on, you don't tell me Museveni has secured my life. he never produced me, he never grew me, and even when I was working, I was not working from 7. What are you talking about? Was I sleeping in his house as his housekeeper?
Na you told yourself, you sleep in Uzira
I was
safely.
working for Uganda and its people. You get it?
Yes.
Now don't provoke me. I was very cool. But when you bring in this business of Wisdom 7, is he my God? Is he my God? Does he know when I will die? Does he know how I will die? Does anybody know how other people will die or when they will die? It's only their creator. And since you brought this, let me take this opportunity to tell Ugandans. Ugandans, you've been gripped by total fear. You fear for your jobs. You fear for your lives. You fear anything. But I want to tell you that President Museveni does not have authority over your lives. If you leave the job, you will still live. I left the job when I was still vibrant, at 50. I was 53 years and I was very vibrant to continuing to run, to work. And he said, get out of here. And they made sure they fought me. Let me tell you, by the way, you are saying I'm intelligent and I have all this. Of course, I don't doubt. By the grace of God. But ever since they said leave from government, no single company, be it a bank, be it what, has ever chosen me as a board member. No, except SEDU. Except SEDU, which chose me. Not even the NGOs which I founded. Not even non-government organization which I founded. None of them has made me a board member.
You know
and
why?
they call me to go and talk. I go and mentor people. I go. No single company, no single institution, not even a hospital, not even anything who have ever given me to be a board member. And yet, I am flourishing. I am very happy in my house, as you see, in my gift from God. I am very, very well. And I fear nothing. Did you find anything at the gate?
No.
Guarding me?
No.
What did you find at the gate?
Just a common man.
You didn't find angels on guard. You didn't read that gate. You didn't read the words at the gate.
Angels, and you believe in that?
Angels on guard.
So you don't think Mr. Museveni has anything to do in securing you?
Ask, is there anything? Do you see anything? Tell me.
That's okay. That's okay.
Do you see anything securing me? You are here. And they all know where I live. Because even when I was a minister, I was living here. So the security, the police, they all know where I live. But let them come to my gate. You are laughing, angels. They are there. Those angels are there. Hey, you are joking with vibrant fire, my friend. For him, he says he's Sabarwanyi. With fire guns, with physical, the Bible says.
If you doubt his ability, where is the
let me tell you, the Bible says that the guns and the horses and whatever cannot save a king. They cannot. They are physical things, and he's also physical. And I can assure you, he's Sabarwanyi, but he's capable of dying. Can he tell me whether he would not die? You are here laughing at me. You tell me, are you sure President Museveni one day will not pass on like every human being?
The Bachwez don't die, they just disappear.
That man is not a Mchwezi, by the way. They have nothing to do with Bachwezi. Ask my late father. You are joking. I have a book here written by my late father. He knows those people have nothing to do with Bachwezi. Museveni with Bachwezi, he has nothing. He's not connected to them.
So what is the future of Uganda's opposition when you look at it today?
You see, I don't like people.
PFF.
First of all, I want to tell you that through elections, nobody can remove President Museveni. Because I have told you very clearly, that dictator and militarization of the whole system. And he has been working on this. I think he decided it when he was in the bush. When he came from the bush, For him, he was deceiving us. For us, we ran with somebody, 10-point program. We are going to redeem Uganda. For him, he knew what he wanted. So this has been a long plan. So as in the human way, in the physical and in the human way, Museveni can't be removed. In the physical and using yourself, let's organize in opposition, let's go and vote, let's go. No. But what I'm sure of is in the spirit, God will deal with it. God will handle it, the removal of Museveni.
I agree that he will handle.
Is a God's affair.
That's true.
Naye bino by'okumoganizinga kati ne leero simanyi yayeranze. Ono nawulidde ekirungu agenda kweranga anooyo gundi Mpuga Mpuga ngutulindeko agenda kulanga ekyama. Who is Mpuga? And I hadn't known Mpuga until Kyagulanyi came on board, and Mpuga simanyi was in DP, left DP and came with Kyagulanyi. Mpuga's prominence, if he has it, it is based on Kyagulanyi. He may betray Kyagulanyi, but he climbed on the step of Kyagulanyi to be known by us. You can't say I was so ignorant. Me, I know. But anyway, the current people who are distinguished, whom would you know these days? They shut them down even in parliament. They don't talk. So for us, we were hard because we talk. But if the environment is so, has conscripted all these members of parliament, and you can't hear them talk, how would you know them? So until Kyagulanyi came on board, Mpuga climbed on Kyagulanyi, became leader of opposition, and then he got that profile. Now, I had everybody, those people were saying, wait, tomorrow he's going to announce what? What, even if he announces he will be the next contest with Museveni, you will see. You will be the first to be arrested, you will just be what? And he may not be as firm as Besigye. Munange tozanya, Besigye yagenda mu nsiko. Nenzo omanyize ekintu kino ekya Besigye. Sikirabira ddala even in terms of law oba biki. Nkiraba in terms of humanity. Nebuuza really President Museveni ansonyiwa okumwogerako mwe mujja kuntawanya mbasi bayise. Nebwembaye bwe mweyita wano ne muntu ala Museveni mwogereko. Naye nali nandisaagadde kumwogerako. Naye ddala ng'omuntu ayakungana abaana bano bonna ba Uncle John Kazola ba bwana bana abo bonna ba muntu ba Besigye bonna ne bagenda mu nsiko ne balwana naye. Kye balwanirira bakimanyi. Najja n'atuuka wano ne Besigye oyo yali dokita we nga mu training. N'atuuka wano bwe yapatinga, bwe yava mu kkubo n'akwata bush again. Nze ku lwange Museveni yava mu kkubo lye twali tutambula naye. Kubanga bino yali abitulimba tulooze ntutambulira mu kkubo lino.
He's in the way of God. That's why God has kept him here for quite long.
Tonteekamu ebyo. Kozi ye ayina ejjana endala. Kati bwe yajampinga n'agenda ku jjana endala. Ffe ne tugamba eyo tubadde tetwetegese kugendayo. Naye ng'omuntu yali alwanirira democracy. Kati ate lwaki teyaleka bano abagamba nti tetujja kugenda naawe ffe katukole ekyaffe tutandike ebyaffe. Tube opposition. Tubuilding nze natuula naye for hours nenyumya naye nga mugamba nga bwo decide nze ugenda bwoti. Kati naffe abagenze wano kubanga walwanirira democracy opposition gundi eno liberal democracy where there is government and opposition. Kati ne mugamba nti singa okikola n'otalwanyisa parties nezezimba nezijja nezicompetinga nawe ojja kuziwangula naye mpola ojja kubanga obuildinga a multi-party political system. Okiraba kati kanzireyo eri wa Besigye. Kati omuntu ng'oyo yakutreatinga ayawukanye naawe. She's not going with you. Naye bw'okiraba nti abantu bayinza kumugoberera wangule n'omukola bino byakola Besigye. Omusajja ng'abonyaabonye. Nze mu Uganda muno abantu babonyaabonye banamboozi babonyaabonye. Nalabye namboozi by the way atambula. kyokka abantu Katonda wama abalwanako kubanga namulabyawo atambula ava kulaba Besigye the last time yali akyali mu kahwirucheya naye Besigye ono abonyaabonye n'ateekwa kubanga alina Katonda omugumu. Era juzi bwe nalaba Besigye ava mu prison mu motoka ng'afuluma agenda mu prison n'amulaba yenna amaanyi gaweddemu naye ngamba nti naye President Museveni ono mu mutima gwe eri mu mutima gwe ng'omuntu talina humanity. Omusajja ono yali amuyina ne balwana najja n'amutreatinga n'okumutreatingako abonyabonya waaki naye kati omanyi lwaki kati ambonyabonya bino bye bateekamu ebyo kubanga kati n'ogenda Kenya lwaki bamukutte kubanga oyo Martha Karua is organizing oppositions within Africa, a network of opposition within Africa to get them and see how they can build themselves as opposition parties. What's wrong with that for democracy of Africa? But basically kati bwagenzeyo agenze kujoininga bali aba building a democracy in Africa ndowooza ne Martha Karua era baganya okumwa eyo license kubanga naye alabika awagira opposition n'olwekyo.
Thank you, Dr. DSML News Yugi. Dr. Matembe, where do you belong now? You are not in NRM, you are not in FDC, you are not in PFF, you are not in NUP, but you are in opposition. Which of these parties do you subscribe?
I oppose wrong. I oppose
from
wrong
which
doing.
grouping? From which grouping?
In fact, for me, if you ask of any party, what the principles that I stand for are in one leader of a party called ANT.
The Mugisha Muntu.
ANT, the principles I stand for, that's where they belong. But for me, I am an individual. I must speak for Ugandans. That's why I'm not in any party. Because if I'm anti ayogera. If I'm FDC, FDC. If Nayenza, I'm here. Bangoba movement.
Aren't you a founder member of FDC?
In fact, yes. When you are founding, you sit, you bring ideas, you put them together, and the party is formed. But when the party is formed, then people go and get membership to the party. But for me, the party is where I'm involved in helping them to found. After founding them,
you leave.
I don't become a member. I don't. You know
Subscribe.
Where you go and get the membership? I don't subscribe. I subscribe to them in terms of what they are focusing on. We sit, we discuss, we do all this. In fact, with Aunt, we even used to sit here to meet and
talk
plan
about ideas
and plan ideas. And after it has been launched, in fact, on the launch, I was there at the Nairo Hotel there. Then I don't subscribe because my ideas are my ideas. Even FDC goes wrong. Look at what they did when they go to Manande and now they are separating. Look at them. Now I would be part of that. So me, I can't be part of any wrongdoing, and any party can go wrong.
Why have you not thrown your way to NUP, the National Unity Platform of
that?
Kyagulanyi, and you mobilize women? Because it is something that
you
Ugandans
mean you don't know that I've been training those women? I train the women. Kyagulanyi has a training school for young people.
Yes.
They call me, I go and train them in leadership. What do you want me to do? I train them in leadership. Which aunt calls me, I go and train them in leadership. It is only NRM which doesn't call me. And the DP has never called me. But whoever, because they know I'm a leader, they know I have leadership qualities.
Your contribution to the NUP, have you interacted with the NUP leader, for example?
What are you doing?
Mr. Kyagulanyi.
You mean, do you know that even the vice president of NUP who has just passed on is my greatest friend and sister? Oh. Jori Muji. You knew the vice president of Western Uganda. She's mine. She went, in fact, when she went to NUP, she didn't tell me. She thought, when I saw her on TV being announced And I said, you girl, what is this? She said, I thought if I told you, you'd stop me.
And that's really
So she didn't tell me. But I was supporting. We never parted. You go where you like and work the way you work. And with Kyagulanyi, you have listened to my videos or my talk about Kyagulanyi. When I visited him for the first time, I didn't know him, and when they were calling him a vagabond in
Muyanga,
the ghetto or whatever, and I went there. Don't you see Micah's house? I saw mansions. Don't you see them in the video? I said, Banang, this is a useful man. You can't make this man a rep. At one time, don't you know, I stood for surety. I was his surety. I went there and stood for surety out of court. Don't you see, by being an individual, single person, I can help any individual without being attached to...
Kale webale nnyo Dr. Miriam Matembe, I think an experienced lawyer, politician, a woman leader. What I wanted to tell you at the end, in the Besigye case that you may not know, is that the military yesterday said that in arresting Dr. Kizza Besigye, they averted a major catastrophe. That something had all this information, tracked Besigye, arrested him, and they are confident that they have enough evidence against him that he planned bad for Uganda.
Well, nze ekyo tojja kukingamba nkikomentingeko. Ffe tukomentinga ku bye tulaba. Ate nze kyenkomentinze ku kye ndaba. Nagambye, if they had all that information and they had it, why were they hiding it until he crosses over to where?
Kenya.
To Kenya. You see, you should not create doubts. And number two, when you are charging somebody, I want to ask you, what charge did they charge him? They had all the evidence. By the time they caught him, the bomb was about to burst on Uganda. And yet when they come to charge him, they don't put the right information on the charge. So me, I talk as a lawyer, I talk as a leader, I talk as a citizen in this country who has been seeing Besigye suffering the way he has been suffering. Now, if for them, they have information which they are hiding, why should they hide information anyway? Because let me tell you, you can hide the details of the case to wait for what?
For trial.
For trial. But for charge, you charge and we see that there is substance in the charge. Where is substance in that charge? Have you seen that charge? He has committed this many offenses, this many we suspect whatever, and then the gun, the 2 pistols, which you really say, but these pistols must have been with these people who gave it to him. Now, they are more intelligent than us, as you said, but we on our own intelligence and human capacity reasoning, we are also out reasoning them until for them, they bring their evidence at one particular time. We say, oh, it's good now you have brought this evidence. Otherwise, for us, we didn't know that. And we wouldn't be wrong. We are entitled to our views and opinion at a particular time.
Webale nnyo Dr. Miriam Matembe wetu tumaliriza n'emboozi eyo mulimu ebyokuyiga bingi yongera okutugoberera ku the SML News Yugi Nzesa Simon Muyanga Lutaya.
This is Insider.